Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Water Songs Workshop, the place where I work on character ideas, cloud art challenges, and try to make your day a little bit brighter. This is probably one of my favorite times of the year for art reasons, because it is MerMay. I love mermaids, I love all merfolk. I have such an affinity to the water and fantasy, and this is like the place where they both seem to meet. And so MerMay is one of my favorite challenges I ever get to do. This year, I decided to have my Patreon and Discord members vote the themes. I kind of chose an overarching theme this time. I wanted to go something that was cosmic, especially with the Super Mario Galaxy movie just coming out right before I started recording this. The amount of love there is for just space in general. So what I did is I set up 5 categories, if you will. They vote for each thing that should be inside each one of these categories. For example, I chose planets, listed the major planets in the solar system, and then they voted on one. The other categories were dwarf planets, moons, what I'm going to call solar system specialties, where they took things that were specifically in our solar system, such as like the Kuiper Belt or the sun, like things that were just known to be in our solar system. And then the last category was generic space, something that's out there in space, not necessarily in our solar system, but cool things that are out there. And the winners of these categories were Saturn, Io, Eris, the Sun, and a black hole. And I cannot wait to show you what I did with all these categories. So without further ado, let's jump on in, or I guess, dive on in. Let's start off at the very center of our solar system with the Sun. We all know it, we all love it, for the most part, unless you're a vampire. The Sun is a yellow dwarf star, but actually is white in appearance. It's a massive plasma reactor, and it's hot, emits solar winds. It's named after Helios in Greek mythology and Ra in Egyptian. I thought, in order to show like the brilliance and the radiance of the Sun, I thought the most interesting thing to do would be to give it something that like shows off its flares. And what better way to like show off something that's dramatic like that than by using a beta fish as the primary fish that I would base this merfolk around. That tail has like this burst of energy at the end, and I also decided to put some radiating light off of him so he looked like he was actually glowing and making the sea a bit brighter. The Sun is incredibly big, so I thought strong, powerful man, far too big of muscles for his own good. And someone who looked kind of like a Chad, because that's what the Sun gives me. It gives me Chad vibes. But yeah, I wanted to incorporate some red, some yellow, some white, make him like look super warm, and make him feel just like a burst of warm energy. But here is the finished iteration of the Sun as a merman. For this next one, I decided to go to the moon. Basically, I'm going to go from warmest to coldest, and you'll see that as we move along. But I decided to do one of Jupiter's moons, Io. It is the most volcanically active object in the solar system. It has like pizza-like appearance with these yellow, red, and white sulfur marks, and like it's like these green little splotches occasionally. There's huge mountains, and the rocks move like tides rising and falling there. Like it's just like a sea of rock and lava. Io was originally named after the mortal priestess that Zeus was interested in, but she was turned into a cow to hide her from Hera, which I have problems with Zeus in all sorts of ways, but there you go. So I decided, design-wise, I wanted to keep this one warm tones as well. I wanted to keep this one looking like it was like moving and actively swimming. And I wanted to make this, because this is such a like strong volcanic power source in the solar system, I wanted to make this seem really powerful when I made her. So I decided to give her the tail of a thresher shark. Moving through the tides, the force, they're known to be very brutal sharks. And then instead of the normal thresher shark patterns, I wanted something a little more interesting to like show how like the rocks were moving. So I decided to find the Mandarin Dragonette markings and kind of throw those into like her design. And then I took some rock fragments and put them around the trim of where her scales meet the skin, because I thought it looked more interesting and more like rocks moving. Of course, the Mandarin Dragonette is not usually like yellow, white, and gray, but I made some design choices. But yeah, here's my finished interpretation of Io as a mermaid. Alright, next we're going to move on to planets. Now, we listed all the planets, of course, and our winner was Saturn. You know, the big gas giant with rocky and icy rings, has over 80 moons, freezing atmosphere but hot core. Very slow-moving planet, and was named after the Roman god of agriculture, wealth, and time, which is the equivalent of Kronos. I wanted to make sure he felt regal, slow-moving, elegant, something that like kind of drifted through water, space, the astral sea, take your pick. So my first thought was to represent that ring, I needed something that was like floating in the ocean, and I went for a ribbon eel, because that's the closest thing you're gonna get to what these rings look like. But for the actual tail, I decided that I wanted to do a lionfish. They're kind of floaty themselves, they're not fast swimmers, and they look regal. And I thought if I had like some rocks kind of like falling off of it, it could look like the rocky rings and the moons at the same time. I thought that'd be a really cool idea. I also wanted to include, since Kronos is very much known for agriculture, I wanted to include some sides on him. I decided to put it in his hair to hold up his bun, because I don't know, it just looked cool to me. I wanted to make sure I got the patterns of Saturn down as well as possible, so the ribbon has the ring colors and the tail has the body colors. I think I did a pretty good job on this. From a silhouette point of view, this looks really interesting to me. But yeah, here's my finished interpretation of Saturn as a merman. Alright, next we're going to move on to Eris. This is the biggest dwarf planet in our solar system, and they were named after the goddess of discord. I think if you've ever watched Sinbad, you know exactly who Eris is. But the dwarf planet itself is farther away than Pluto is. Frozen atmosphere, so I wanted to make her look cold and jagged and distant. Not evil necessarily, but like the stay away from me vibes. So I decided to look at some fish that thrived in cold waters. Looked interesting, and I found the Antarctic ice fish. So I decided to make that tail, and I decided to like cut it up a little bit, put some jagged lines in there, make her look as icy as possible. Almost on the edge of creepy. I also gave her like very sharp teeth to really scare off anyone who's trying to mess with her. Because I just wanted to do it. I thought it'd be interesting. You can tell that I was like in an anatomy class studying backs, because I don't ever put that much detail into a spine or shoulder blades. But yeah, here is my finished interpretation of Eris as a mermaid. Alright, our final category for today is Black Hole. Now this one was a fun one. I wanted to make this one feel like they were sucking in all of the light, but I still need to like show their outline. So I decided to take a vampire squid, kind of an Ursula-like body, and just make her feel dark with this white outline, and have this core that was completely blacked out with all the stars kind of like dimming into it. I thought that would be the most interesting evil eldritch horror thing I could make out of this, and I'm really proud of how this turned out. As we know, black holes are dense, invisible regions of space where gravity is so strong that not even light can escape it. They pull objects into themselves, and they warp time itself. Most galaxies have a supermassive black hole at the center. I think even ours does too. So, you know, look out for that one day. Thousands and thousands of years away. But yeah, vampire squid to add the spikes and tentacles to make it look like tentacles are reaching out and pulling these stars back in. I thought would be the coolest idea. I'm so proud of this one. This one made me so happy. But yeah, here is my finished interpretation of black hole as a merfolk. I don't know if you fully classify this as a mermaid. Oh, this doesn't have the right tail. As a sea witch. There we go. That's closer. But yeah, here is everyone all together. I am so proud of this, and I think I had so much fun making these. This really stretched my creative limitations. I always love a good challenge to add to an already existing idea. Like, smash this and this together is my favorite way to do art, so I always love MerMay because I always get to have mermaids, which I absolutely love. What do you think? Who was your favorite? If you have an idea for a merfolk you would have combined with a planet, a moon, a dwarf planet, something in the solar system, what would you have done? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you want to support me further, I do have a Patreon. If you join, you can vote on upcoming art challenges, like this one. You can be part of the community, join my Discord channel. You'll get special shoutouts at the end of videos, and at higher tiers you get free monthly commissions. Not only does this help me push out these videos, this also helps me get through college right now, so every little bit helps out. Even if you don't want to actually be part of the community, you just want to help, I will absolutely take it, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Speaking of, I do have some shoutouts. Patreon members at the Sparkle tier, we have PillageTheVillage, timepixie, and Jackie. And then, at the Cosmic tier, we have Devon. So thank you all so much. I appreciate every single last one of you, and it really means the world to me that you want to help and support me grow. I could not possibly do this without you, so thank you, I love you. That should wrap everything up for today. Thank you so much for watching. Keep being fantastic, and until next time, I'll see you around.